So you think you have the world's dirtiest RC car and you have no idea how to clean it. You're looking for some help and you just jumped on the right video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to clean a really dirty RC car, the quick method. Look at this Traxxas Max. It has been covered in mud. We've really got our work cut out for us. But before we start, I do want to say the best way, the true best way to clean your RC car is to tear it down to basically kit form and clean each individual part. So obviously first up, you're going to need some cleaning equipment. And the stuff I have displayed here is almost everything you need to clean your RC car the way I clean my RC car. And we'll start over here with the air compressor. Obviously, an air compressor is a great way to blow off any dirt and grime from your car. Just make sure you have a good nozzle and air hose to go along with it. Next up, you're gonna need some cleaners. We've got Cow RC cleaners. Their Moo Clean is absolutely excellent for spraying down the car, so really get off the grime. Then they have some Moo Slick, which makes the part shiny, and Moo Clean, which is kind of like a cleaner degreaser. And recently they added these cowhide wipes to their lineup. Those actually come in really handy for just wiping down the car quickly, the body, the chassis, even the suspension arms, and it actually is formulated by them. Just so everybody knows, this isn't some cleaner you pick up out of a big box store. Obviously, you're gonna need some brushes to break up the dirt and get the grime off of the cars. This is a wheel and tire brush for real cars. This I got out of the local hardware store. It's just a soft bristle brush. And then these brushes here. This is the key, guys. They are called vent detail brushes. You're probably also gonna need some tools just to have on hand in case maybe you need to take the wheels off, and then other parts. The final thing you'll need is obviously water in a garden hose. I don't recommend using a power washer, and I'll tell you why when we go outside to clean. Now, before we get into it, I do need to tell you about the risk because we're gonna use some water to clean the RC car. Water gets wherever it wants to. It will get into bearings, it will get into gear cases, and it may even get into electronics. So I do need to tell you about the risk so you can make the decision what's best for you. So obviously I'm gonna move on with the cleaning here, and I am gonna clean my Max with the electronics installed because I've had good luck with Traxxas waterproof electronics. I have, however, removed the battery pack. Now, to get the dirt off this thing, we are just simply going to start hosing it down. I've got the nozzle on the jet setting and just start spraying. Now, the reason I said don't use a pressure washer is because a pressure washer will push the water into those gear cases, into those bearings, and that's when you really risk damaging your RC car. So I decided to pull off the wheels because, as you can see, dirt just fills in the gaps back here, and this could really throw off the balance of the tire, which will cause a bunch of other problems, so I'll clean these separate. So far, the cleanup process is looking pretty good, but as you can see, we still have some dirt that's really stuck to some of the major components here, and that's where this cleaner comes into play. So we're just gonna spray this down, let it sit for a few minutes, and actually hit it with the brush as well, just to knock some of that stuff free, and then we'll go back to spraying everything down again. So I've actually washed the truck down again with just water, and I've reapplied the Moo Clean cleaner on here, and now I'm just getting really down and into some of the crevices where the dirt lies. Definitely get around your shocks, around the universal joints, near the hinge pin areas. Get all that grime out of there, stuff that will definitely cause problems for your car later on down the road with wear and tear. Pretty much all the dirt is off the truck at this point. I went and removed the front bumper as well since I broke that. But the next step is to start blowing off some of that water that's on the car. Now, you're gonna wanna blow away from your bearings. You don't wanna blow directly into your bearings. You wanna blow across the gear cases. You don't wanna blow directly into them because that's gonna force water into everything, and that's not what you want. Just get most of the water off the car. Now that most of the water is off the car, what I like to do is use some WD-40. I forgot to mention this product before, but I like to just spray it on the metal areas of the car, the screws, the hinge pins, and even some of the outside bearing races and stuff, shock shaft springs. And then once I do that, I like to go in and start brushing everything down to coat it with that WD-40. Now that the metal parts are coated in WD-40, I like to take the air hose again and just finish drying off the truck. So that's looking really good. I'm also using this towel to help dry everything off, that WD-40 that's left over. And once it's all dried up and everything is looking good, that's when I go and use some of this Moo Slick just to go and shine up the arms or other parts. And I'll go and wipe it with a brush, and I could go and move on to the body and tires. These cowhide wipes come in really handy for cleaning up the body. And finally, for the tires, I just added a little bit of the cleaner to a bucket of water, and I'm gonna scrub the tires down, making sure not to squeeze the tire while it's underwater so you don't get water into it through the vent holes. Look at that, I can read the Max logo on the side of the body again. So that was my quick cleanup process, which actually took about 2 hours because this truck was so dirty, but it's ready for some more bashing. It's not showroom ready, but it's ready for some more fun. There's a couple other things I want to throw out at you. After I get the truck cleaned up, I like to go and take it for just a quick run in the driveway, maybe throw on some old tires and just get it running around a little bit, just in case there's some extra water in the bearings or in the transmission case. It'll help work it out, get any water out of the fans or away from the electronics. I also like to check the wheels and tires to make sure there's no water inside, squeeze out any water that gets in there, or you may have to open up another hole on the outside of the tire, throttle it up to get that water out. But again, you want to get as much water off the car as possible. You needed to clean it, but you also need to make sure it's all gone so you don't have any problems with rust or anything else. I'll have links in the video description just in case you saw something that could help you out.